We're getting there. We are chilled and welcoming you, and come have coffee with us. You can be in our audience and visit and see what we do during commercials, because it's kind of fun. And let's see what else. We start with prayer. Yes, thank you. And today, Gabe is going to lead us in our direction. Are you coming over here? No. Okay.
Dearest Heavenly Father, we come before you today, glorifying you and all that you do for us in this community and for our country and, Lord, for the world. Lord, Father God, we ask that you be with us in a very special way. Help to lead us to bring the kind of information and love to this community that you require. And we ask all this in Jesus' precious name. Amen.
Amen. And thank you, Gabe. And we are going to head to commercial, but come back with Hunt Regional Health Care's Rose Hayden, and we'll find out what's going on. There's a lot of exciting things happening around our hospital.
Right.
At Hunt Regional Healthcare, we are by your side. When times are good, we will be here for you. When times are difficult, we will stand with you. Why? Because you are our family, friends, and neighbors. That's why at Hunt Regional Healthcare, we continue to invest in services, specialties, and team members to provide the trusted care you've come to count on, so you can rest assured your loved ones will always receive the best quality care. Hunt Regional Healthcare, by your side.
Carol Hoops and Trey Warren at C&R Floors invite you to their new location for the same quality products, service, and installation they have provided for over 20 years. C&R Floors, 2706 Highway 69 South in Greenville.
Are you tired of those big chain tire dealers giving you the runaround? Are you not getting the customer service you deserve? If not, call me, and I will reach the competition. Come see us at Discount Wheel and Tire at 4609 Wesley in Greenville. Discount Wheel and Tire, and we will get you all that you deserve.
Almost with a couple of holes in the bottom next to the big yacht. That some of us were on the big yacht, and
Oh goodness.
And we're back. Welcome. What was the oh goodness about?
Oh
my goodness.
Well, since we don't have the microphones. Hey,
Yes.
sorry about the audio issues. We're working on it.
Oh.
But the audio played through the commercial.
Oh no.
It's
So they
great
were
that we
just
didn't,
chatting
do
about-
anything weird.
Okay, well we wouldn't do anything weird. Yeah. So you guys hear us talking about that. We're not all in the same boat. Okay, so Rose is with us to tell us. She just told me something I hadn't realized. When she didn't tell you, because at the time she told me, it was before you were listening into our private conversation. That's all right. That's all right. We are here to talk about what's happening. Yes. So Hunt Regional, the foundation actually has a gala every year, and the gala is this Friday night. It's at the venue at Boyd Farms in Lavon. So it's at a different venue, and it's a little bit bigger venue. We're excited to try this out. We hope people can join. There is still availability for tickets. So if you go to musicisthe.bestmedicinegala.com. I think Google it. So how many times can you misspell something in that? I know. Well, music is the bestmedicine.com. Gala.com. And that'll take you there, and you can buy tickets. We'd love to have everybody. Absolutely. Individual tickets are $125. The money goes to equipment that we're using with the new Da Vinci and other areas around the hospital, because we want to be able to provide the best care that we can. So there's new technology out there, there's new equipment out there. We want to be able to get that and help our community. And we have more people coming to town. We do. Doctors. We do. So we have a new gastroenterologist that is coming. He's going to join Dr. Ctfm. And he is starting August 1st. So we know there's a huge demand for gastro, and we know that Dr. Ctfm is very popular, very busy, but we want an additional physician, and we've had him coming for about a year and a half now, so we're very excited that that day is almost here. And then we also have 2 internal medicine doctors. So we have one that's a gentleman who will be joining our Live Oak practice in Commerce.
Right.
And he's coming from the VA, Dr. Schoenfeld, and he will be joining us. And then we have, and I know, Gabe recognizes that name, so he'll be joining us August 1st at the office in Commerce. And then we have Dr. Rose Nishu, and she will be joining us at our practice in Greenville, Dr. Jewel's practice, at the Physician Building on Joe Ramsey, and so she'll start September 1st. So internal medicine really handles not just those family medicine and primary care situations, but those that have multiple chronic conditions. Sometimes they're elderly, sometimes they're not. Sometimes they just suffer with a lot of different
Things
health
happen.
issues.
I mean, like we were talking to my brother, who's younger than I am, and it's just surprised. But something happens. And it's not necessarily you cut something or whatever, your body just kind of goes blip.
I mean, we're all fighting against genetics and then environment and all of those things, so we're trying to keep ourselves in the best health possible.
Right.
And a lot of times internal medicine is the right avenue. So we are continuing to bring specialist equipment, service lines that we can to our community to help as our growing our public.
Yeah, our population is growing.
public-
They said it's somebody, and I'm like, I thought we only had census every 10 years, but somebody said as of 2022, and I'm like, we don't have a census in 2022. But they said we're over 30,000 now.
In just the city of Greenville would be.
Yeah,
So in Hunt County, we're over 100,000.
Wow.
We take care of Hunt County and the surrounding counties.
Right.
Because
We've got a good trauma center.
Absolutely. So we have a good trauma center. So our trauma ER center, we are level 4, which level 1 is the best. So that doesn't sound great, but what that is we can take care of all of those issues that need to be taken care of. We just don't have certain specialists on call 24 hours a day. And that's some of the determination. So we're actually working for a level 3 designation soon. But a lot of that is, do you check certain boxes?
Right.
And some of that are specialists that it would just be really hard for us to have 24 hours a day coverage.
Right.
We don't have that volume. So we want to make sure that we do have the capability of either taking care of people or stabilizing them.
And then we have a health pad.
We have a health pad, yes we do.
Because we can take them and go to the trauma center that has more of the...
Well, and that's the thing, we don't do spine, we don't
Right.
do brain. If it is, for instance, a stroke that's a brain bleed, that's something we're going to transfer out. Somebody needs open heart surgery, we won't do that. Now, we do take care of stents and pacemakers and many, many things.
Right.
We take care of many strokes. Most strokes are blockage related.
Yeah.
And so that we can administer the TPA or there's other medications that are clot plus. But you have to present within about 3.5 hours of your first signs and
Right.
symptoms. So
I
we've
saw the
been
sign
here-
on
yes,
the hospital. It
Good.
says, okay, because I thought it used to be a shorter acronym.
Yes,
Like
so
or something. that
So
was just-
FAST, right, so May was Stroke Awareness Month, and so we had posters in the hospital, we put out ads talking about what stroke signs. And stroke signs really, FAST was the acronym, and now it's Be Fast.
Okay, I know there was more letters. I'm like, okay, I hadn't seen that.
Right,
But it has
right.
to do with smile.
Has to, so you've got
You're
face,
lopsided.
F right up his face.
Right.
You'll have like your arms. Can you hold your arms up level or just one droop? Ask people to speak. Can they speak in a simple sentence? And then T is for time. So the E was added for eyes and drooping and so on. So a lot of times people will ignore stroke symptoms because there's not a lot of pain associated with it. But we cannot ignore that. We want to get action fast. And we have a new Health Beat magazine that just came out. So Hunt Regional just published a new Health Beat magazine. And there's a patient story in there about a young lady who suffered stroke symptoms and was able to get taken care of very quickly. And she is in almost full recovery, going through, of course, some therapies and things like that. But because of the fast awareness and coming to the ER and getting that clot busting drug and all of the things that progress,
she is going to have almost no effect from that, and we're just so pleased about that. That's what we are here to do, and we want to let people know about that. So yes, you saw the posters and the signs and the ads, and that's good, and so read the article too. And then speaking of what area we cover, we just broke ground on a facility in Maurice City.
You were telling me that before we started, not when y'all got to listen to us, all over the place. There's like you said, a new one in Commerce.
So we just opened an urgent care in Commerce, and it's next door to our ER. And so people say, well, why do you need an ER and an urgent care right next door? Well, we also have family medicine in Commerce too, because those are all for different issues. Your family medicine is going to take care of your longevity, your ongoing relationship, your vaccinations, your physicals, and so on. Urgent care is great for nights, weekends. I need to get in today and I can't get into my primary care med.
And it's you don't want to go to the emergency room for a cold or a sore throat. I mean, it's not of the level.
Right. Emergency care is for emergency problems. And
like urgent care is
urgent care is, you know, your cold and flu, maybe need a few stitches, maybe you have kind of a simple break or sprain, those things that are not emergency room trauma qualified issues. And it's cheaper. So you don't need to go to the ER for full trauma care when really you can be taken care of in a much cheaper capacity. And address it correctly.
Because I went to the urgent care here one time with somebody, and the nice thing about having your urgent care is that if my break turned into something worse, they found it there and it was worse and I needed to go to emergency or hospital, it's the same people.
It's very easy to transfer.
You've already done intake. You don't have to finish here. Now we're going to go here, and
And what's also nice about that is we take Medicare and Medicaid, and not all facilities do. And we have a huge population that takes Medicare and Medicaid insurance, and we want to be able to serve those patients. And not every standalone facility does, because we are associated with the hospital. We have that umbrella, and we're able to do so, and that's huge. You need to be sure you understand what that facility will take and how you can pay for that and what's the best cost option, but the best care option, right? If you have a bone poking through the skin, if you think you're experiencing stroke or heart attack symptoms, you need to go to the ER. Calling 911 is often the way to do that.
Well, I've heard it's the fastest way.
Because fastest way to
administer
the treatment.
They start the treatment and they skip the line.
And that's part of it. They're already starting triage, they're already calling in and saying, hey, we have someone who needs to possibly skip the line. We need to start maybe imaging right away. And so we really rely on our EMT group. We partner with AMR. And so Hunt County EMS is a long-standing partnership with AMR. We're very excited about our first responders and the help that they do.
We had all girls too. They came from my brother. It was all girls.
Sure.
This is fun.
You don't know, whoever's on call, they're all very skilled.
It's not that they're not other ones skilled. It was just kind of funny that, wow, this truck has all girls.
And listen, and they do it for the passion and for the care. They don't do it for the paycheck. They truly are servant hearts, and we appreciate everything that they do. They're the first line of care in an emergency, in a trauma.
And I forgot he told me that it does start. If you drive, you think you can get there faster because you drive and they don't have to drive to you, but they start care immediately.
That's right.
Do we need a commercial? Is that what you were telling me?
We can. Do you want to come back and talk more? Do you have stuff?
Absolutely.
Yeah,
that would be great.
Okay, so we'll come back with Rose right after the commercials. Thank y'all very much for being with us. We don't have any coffee. We should get coffee.
The most amazing state-of-the-art Chevy dealership in Texas is now open. The all-new Platinum Chevrolet in Terrell.
And we'd like to personally invite you to come by and meet our team. Every day we drive the difference by providing incredible values and exceptional service. Shop and explore a huge selection of new Chevys across 14 acres, all specially priced. You'll find us just off Spur 557 in Terrell.
Drive the difference at the all-new Platinum Chevrolet.
Find new roads at your local Chevy dealer.
Need a part for the right price? Look for that red and blue sign. Henley Auto Supply at 1510 Stonewall. Over 800,000 CarQuest parts to choose from. Domestic, European, and Asian parts. Henley Auto Supply at 903-455-1969. 455-1969. Henley Auto Supply has the right part to keep your vehicle running and backed by the best hometown service. Henley Auto Supply. Great people, great products, great prices. Henley Auto Supply and CarQuest.
You need someone who will take the time to understand your unique tax situation, someone who will help you plan for the future and knows the right questions to ask to get the most out of your return? If so, call D. Earl's Tax Service, where you'll be treated like family by our family. We have 2 convenient locations in Greenville and Quinlan to help you with all your tax, bookkeeping, and payroll needs. D. Earl's Tax Service, serving Hunt County for 40 years. Stop by and say hi to the family at D. Earl's Tax Service.
Audience, you get free coffee? Oh, yummy. Get free coffee. Actually, it is good stuff. I mean, you have a very good coffee shop. I really enjoy it. And they're always so nice. Thank you. Absolutely. People tell me that. They said, you have good influence. Part of it, and part of what I do here, I waited tables forever. I put myself through school that way, which is, it was good. But you're basically begging for money. You know, you're nice because you're going to give me a big tip. Well, they're not nice for tips because I pay them well. They're getting moderately limited, $12 to $20 an hour, depending on how long they've been here and what they're doing. And so you don't have to tip. And right now, we're still one of the best by money in the town, which we shouldn't be because you don't have to tip. We shouldn't be the best deal in town because you should be paying for that somewhere. But, well, you know, it is so nice, and the facility here is just beautiful, of course. Every time that we bring in somebody new, we have a Da Vinci event. So we actually had the robotic. I had to miss it that night, but it was fabulous. They sent me pictures, and I was like, oh, it was so much fun. So we had the Da Vinci on the stage in the Texan Theater. You got to, if you were here, you got to play with it. Yes, absolutely. So this is a demo unit, and you can take the controls. And so what's so neat about it is there's so they actually have, so the group comes out from the manufacturer and they have a demo unit, and there's 3 parts to this robot essentially, and we call it robotic assisted surgery because the surgeon is still doing the operation. Right. So he sits at a console and he puts his eyes into this headset and he holds onto these joysticks. And he controls with his feet, the feet pedals and the joysticks and all this movement. And the magnification is 10 times what you can see with your naked eye. And he can maneuver these tools. So then there's this unit that has the tools, and they have incisions smaller than a dime. And this long tool will go in, and the tools can be very tiny because the hands don't have to go into the torso. And we're using it from about here to here right now for general surgery. I know that was real specific, and that was like the medical term, right? So I was hoping the gastros would say from the gum to the bum. But so you can actually use that unit and play with it, and they have this sort of pretend torso with little rubber bands and things you move, and you can see the dicks. Yeah, we don't practice on humans. No, we wouldn't do that. And so we had robotic students, we had interested people in the community, people interested in healthcare. So we had students and teachers and public and board members and anybody that wanted to come and see and try and practice. And then the next day we took the unit to our hospital. So everybody that isn't in the surgery suite and wanted to see it and play with it and understand it could do so. And it is really surreal. It's one of those things where the amount of things you can do and twists and the rotation, it's just even more than your human hand, and you can see more than the human eye, and so it's very impressive.
And I've seen many videos of actual operations and the speed and the dexterity, and they can, you know, they can cut, they can stitch, they can cauterize, they can do all of these things very cleanly, and so it's really impressive. So we had the event here, and everybody was just floored how nice it was. And we just very impressed. People from all over the Metroplex were just so impressed with the location, the hospitality, and you know, we try to explain what Hunt County is. And you know, it is your friends and your neighbors and your family, and we're taking care of each other. We're in partnerships like we talked about earlier, and so we really are invested into how can we help? What's the difference we can make?
Right. Well, I like that, and it's one of the reasons I think Ross for the Cause is such a big deal. It is for your neighbors.
Yes.
It is. So the gala, as some people say,
yes,
the thing on Friday, the big party on Friday, is for here. It is for your neighbors. It's for you, yourself possibly, to get these nice doctors, to get these cool people to come to town, come to Greenville. I was going to ask earlier, so are these people just picking out Greenville and going, hey, I think I want to come here. Oh, I'm a doctor. I'll talk about it. Or is it more?
No, never. I mean, it never happens, right? Basically, we do recruit. We do have searchers that are looking for people at all levels of expertise, whether it's new out of school, whether it's those that want to downsize and come to a very attractive rural community.
Right.
We have a lot to offer. We're close to the Metroplex, so if you talk about in regards to other states, we have accessibility to the Metroplex and airports, but we have land. We have the rural atmosphere. We have some privacy. We have lower cost of living than a lot of states nowadays. So there's a lot of attractive qualities to Texas. And then in this area, we partnered with Could on her housewarmers, and she says every month that people move to our area, A, because they want privacy and land and some space, and B, they want to be near grandkids or affordable housing, and so they may be moving from out of state, or they may be moving from a more congested area, but they're looking for what the balance that we have here. And
it's a really cool place to live.
It is. I have lived in this area over 25 years, and I just think there is so much to say for it. I didn't grow up here. I grew up in the Metroplex, but I didn't run into people that I knew. But here we always run into people we know.
Go shopping.
Go shopping, yeah.
It doesn't matter which grocery store. You're most likely going to see at least one person.
And I love that.
I love that.
And
you can't hide.
No, but it's okay. Like, why should you? You don't always have to look perfect and look ready-made. I mean, if I run into you at Lowe's, I ran into a friend the other day, I'm not expecting you to look like you just came from church, right? You're obviously working on a project. That's right. So,
although I am at work, but no.
Well, that's exactly right.
You had something that you wanted to go over.
Our stuff.
So we want to talk about physical therapy a little bit as well.
You don't have to come all the way into Greenville.
Right. To do it. So currently we have physical therapy and other outpatient therapies like occupational speech, pelvic floor, vestibular, cognitive, and so on at the hospital in Greenville. We also have physical therapy in Commerce. We've had that for a couple of years. But we opened a new physical therapy clinic in Quinlan. So right in, near the Whataburger, we have a location there, and we can offer physical therapy there. We have partnered with a group called Greater Therapy Centers, and so they are used to providing the physical therapists, and then we provide kind of the expertise in running the location and the clinic. And so we have opened Forney and Terrell and Quinlan with them. Wow. And then we'll be also offering Rockwell and Rowlett in about a month. Nice. So yes, so we're expanding our footprint. You're going to see our name in more places. But that's exciting.
And what's the tagline, the new tagline that I haven't seen, but Haiti saw that?
By your side. Yes.
Nice. You're close by, wherever we happen to be located in the
That's right. That's right. We have so many different offices and clinics and options, and I think people just aren't aware. And we're up to 19 locations now. And so we like to get the word out. We still, of course, have the mammography coach, right? So we'll even take that to you. Yeah. And that's been so successful. And of course, the money is raised from bras for the cause.
That has increased the number. You had a statistic of how many mammograms before we had the mobile mammography, and now
So there was a time before the mobile that we were not. We were short 60% of mammograms for women at the age of 40 and above who should be getting a mammogram. 60% of women were not. And we have decreased that by 30%, and we continue to decrease that. So we are so excited about that. That is basically taking that service to the public and businesses and churches and other locations, doctor's offices, where we can bring that service to.
How do they get that? How does a location get you to come?
Sure. So my coworker Frances Dalby, she actually sets the event. Yes. So you can email her at fdalby, DALBEY, @hempregional.org, and she will find a date that works and set that up. We do try to have at least 10 women or more at every event. We want to make sure it makes sense. Gas is so expensive nowadays, right?
It is.
So we want to make sure we get that out there. And
it's a big mission.
It's huge.
RV.
It's a huge RV, right? But it's specifically fitted.
I was inside.
Yes, it's so neat. Specifically fitted for not only 3D mammography, but also bone density.
Right.
You don't need a doctor's referral to get a mammogram if you're 40 and above. It's a federal law. With bone density, you do need a doctor's order, and that's because only some people need bone density at some times. So we want to make sure that that those guidelines are followed. So
and that's what I was guessing. I was in this whole big system of getting to the liver specialist, and they have to have. We've got PPPs, but we still have to have a referral because of that
reauthorization and make sure
you really need
it's we want to make sure that people are seen in the right place. It's so frustrating if you go and it's like, oh, sorry, I can't help you. You should have gone somewhere else. We're trying to avoid that, of course.
Right. So if you call, you can figure it out.
Oh, and that is a good time for me to talk about that. We have a new electronic medical record system being implemented. It's about $7 million to do this, but as you know, everything with technology has to be upgraded. We're switching from one system to a better system that'll talk to more systems, and it'll also be a little bit more user-friendly than the current system we have.
So when my doctor needs my records, we don't have to go over there, have somebody pull out all the charts, make a copy.
Well, I mean, we do have electronic medical records now, so I do have
that has to happen, but it's easier and talks better.
Well, and it's more upgraded, it's more accessible. All of the things that need to happen with today's technology. It's a huge investment, but it has to be done at some point to keep up with the demands on the system. But you'll see a little change. So if you currently have a patient portal access with Hunt Regional, you would get a new one about October 1st. Not October 1st, August 1st.
Okay.
Maybe that was wishful thinking. August 1st. But we're going to be ready. And so you would sign up for a new patient portal. But other than that, everything will be a little bit easier. And then once we roll out the whole hospital and outpatient services and so on, then we're going to finally merge our clinics onto the same medical records platform, so you won't have two different ones for physician offices versus hospital labs.
It should be easier. So if I'm going in the system, I've been somewhere in the system, and then I end up at the big hospital at the emergency, you'd be able to access whatever I've got.
Even just labs,
labs.
Even if it's not an ER visit related, so many people have to get their lab work done every quarter.
Right.
Maybe they're on a prescription or there's an issue that's being monitored.
Okay, exactly. One of the things that I know every quarter.
That's right. And so we want to make sure that those records are accessible. And we now have systems that sort of talk to each other, but we're going to be happy to be all in the same system.
I'm just thinking it's so much easier because I noticed 10 years ago when my mom was having issues, every doctor seemed to think that she'd never in 70 years seen another doctor because the records weren't necessarily right here available. And if they're in the system, then they can go, oh, look, here's 10 years of blood tests.
Yes, and you know, I mean, not all systems talk to each other.
Right.
So let's say, you know, it's still within Hunt Regional and those that use, it'd be Cerner, Oracle, bought Cerner, and but you know, I think the pie in the sky idea 20 years ago was that anywhere you go in the U.S., they'd be able to pull up your records and find that out. It's just not.
It sounds like a nice idea.
It sounds like a nice
sort
idea.
of. It's for those of us who are kind of paranoid and
well,
conspiracy theory people. No, I don't want everybody to know all my information.
Well, just ask, you know, Google or Facebook, and they'll be able to provide that for you, I'm sure. So.
Yeah, you saw that, and then we stopped.
I'm like, oh,
actually, part of the reason I think we're having it is because sounds like there's an alarm going off in the building. So we're going to find out what it is. We'll find out during the commercial. They get to watch a commercial.
All right, let's see the commercial.
We will go for a few moments, and we will be back in just a minute.
Company coming? Make sure they stay with us. At Best Western Plus, we'll treat them right. Like hot complimentary breakfast, spacious rooms, a glorious pool, fitness and business center, and best of all, a friendly staff. Our large, flexible meeting rooms are great for business and social get-togethers. Best Western Plus, just off of Interstate 30 near Cracker Barrel. Staying with us is always a plus. Best Western Plus in Greenville.
Hi, I'm Kathy with Long Branch Dental Center. Lumineers are porcelain glass shells that fit over the top of your teeth and give them a dynamite look. You can change the shape, the size, and the color. So call today to ask about Lumineers. Long Branch Dental Center, making North Texas more beautiful, one smile at a time.
Here we are, almost. I was in the process of that. So welcome back to Ctfm. Coffee Tea Friendly, we find out all the good news. We talk about the fun things like every month on the first Wednesday. I was helping co-host for a while before I figured out that she always came on the first Wednesday. Like, how long do I have to do this to figure out the pattern? But Put comes and tells us her collection of everything that's happening. And I don't think she said the gala party. I don't think that was it. She should have listed all the galas because last week was Children's Advocacy Center. They had their big party for the year of collecting money, and so y'all's is this Friday. And you can hunt music. Oh yes, thebestmedicinegala.com. If you went to Hunt Regional, could you find it?
You could.
Okay.
You could poke around a little bit. You can find our foundation page, and then from there you could find it. You
Okay. I was just thinking a different route of
Yes, huntregional.org, and then find foundation. And we're going to come up with a new website. So
for the foundation.
actually, for our organization, so huntregional.org will look different in a couple of months. So not only we're doing new medical records, we decided let's get our website updated. Let's do everything at the same time. No,
just well, in one sense, that's good. Okay.
Yes, you
will be discombobulated for about this long. It's every other day you change one more thing, and you're just like.
We need a new website. We do. We need more functionality. We need it to do more things. We
take donations.
Well,
a button this big that says, give us money.
That's the foundation's job. So the hospital, we work for our money.
Right.
So, but we want it to be more accessible, more functional, but we also want a list of providers. So we already have Find a Doctor, where you can go and look, but it's a little slow and clunky. We want to get that faster as we keep adding physicians and specialists.
What we were talking about earlier.
Absolutely, we need that to be functionality because people look online.
Yes.
And so that's one reason we're updating
No phone
as well as others.
What, no phone books anymore.
No phone books anymore.
And then we used to go, oh, let's go look at the yellow pages. And how long has that been?
Yes.
I mean, I can remember the switch.
We still advertise in the phone book until about 5 years ago. And, bless them, I would not want to be in the phone book business at this moment, but as we've all had to change and
We all
changed.
I was talking about it before the commercials, about what I wasn't during the commercial, of all the changes. We usually make them little tiny incremental. And we barely notice. We learned a new system. It's only this much different than what we did before. Okay, so we click here instead of here. It's not a big deal unless we get it all at once. And then it's
I think everybody's playing catch up a little bit from the pandemic, and so you're seeing a lot of things happen. Seems like all of a sudden, but it's really just people were in limbo for a few years, and now we're going to make updates and changes.
And I think some of us, to make use of the pandemic, I couldn't go out and do, so I stay home and think and do. And then once we're coming out of it, it's like, oh, I can actually implement the things that we were thinking about, so we suddenly have a bunch of implementation. It feels like.
It does feel like that, and I think we're so blessed to be growing and expanding as a hospital system. As our community is growing, we have to meet those needs, but we also want to meet those needs. We want to be a resource. We want to know what is it we need that we're lacking, and let's see how to make that happen. So,
and you can go by and eat, and you can have coffee.
Yes.
It's
Code Brew is our coffee shop, but I didn't want to mention that, Barbara. You have a wonderful coffee shop too, but
coffee shop, but
my coffee shop's between here and there, right?
Hospital. That's what I said. Even the coffee shop down the street, we all do different things. Yes. We focus in different ways. Mine has cafe, mine's food, mine's lunch, and it's not open.
You could have coffee multiple times a day. You could go to each of these coffee shops all day long, every day.
We're locally owned.
Absolutely, and that's the thing, is we want to support our community, and make sure that we are investing in those services and options we have here, because if we don't, they can't stay. They leave.
Can't pay the bills.
We don't want that to happen.
Yeah.
But proceeds from the cold brew go to the foundation.
Yes. So Code Brew, the proceeds go to the foundation. They go back into the hospital and are reinvested into all of these, services, equipment, and et cetera, et cetera. So that's exactly right. It goes to a good cause, and it's nice to have too, right? Whether you're an employee and you're on shift, or whether you're a visitor or a patient, it's nice to have those options. And like you said, the cafeteria is wonderful.
That's for people that are not having to be at the hospital for any other reason. Go for the salad bar.
Go for salad bar. They go for breakfast. Yeah, we have breakfast bar. We have all kinds of things, and it's the best kept secret after church. They're gonna kill me because they're like, why do you but after church, it's a great, affordable meal. People get what they want, and so anyway, we are very blessed to have those options, and they take very good care of us and the patients, of course, and we could probably go on and on and on talking about all the great things. Yes. But you're gonna let me come back.
I am. Yes. Whatever. Whichever Wednesday of the month is yours.
Well, we've got it scheduled, so we'll probably come back. I think it's 6 weeks from now.
Okay.
And we'll come back and visit.
But we should be.
And I'll be honest, we have about 7 new locations opening in October.
Wow.
So I haven't really
really even touched on any of those, so we'll have more to talk about then.
The locations are emergency type locations or more of the physical therapy type locations, or is it all across the board?
Non-emergency, but others.
Okay.
Yes.
Cool.
Yes.
Fun. Yes. Exciting. So thank you all very much.
A little teaser for next time.
Yes. We'll tell you when the next time will be, maybe. Today was sort of a surprise, but thank you so much for chatting with you.
Glad to be here.
Always.
Thank you for having me.
So, thank y'all for joining us, and we will see you next Wednesday, coffee tea friendly and me. Thank you, Barbara.
The recipe for great food is simple. Make it fresh. Wings to Go in Greenville, where every order is a custom order made with fresh ingredients. Wings to Go, 7818 Wesley Street in Greenville. Simply great wings.